Hello. I'm not sad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Please stop singing that song before I stop you.
Actually.
It's the only like 2 lyrics I know. What's up, guys? My name is Mario.
My name is Sylvia.
My name's Pau.
Welcome back.
to the first ever.
Missed it.
Oh, you missed it? Should we
It's
do it
okay.
again?
No.
Yeah, you got to do it
All
again
right,
for
we
the
do it
first
again.
Sylvia session.
Oh,
The
true.
first official Sylvia session. You can't do your girl dirty like
I'm
that.
sorry. I missed my cue.
What's up, guys? My name is Mario.
My name is Sylvia.
My name's Pau.
Welcome back to the first ever Sylvia session. Official. First
done.
ever Sylvia
Yes.
session on her channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So
guys,
make sure to like, share, subscribe.
for the first few maybe episodes, we're gonna be putting the Sylvia sessions on both Vive con Huevos and on Sylvia's new channel, Sylvia Sessions. So make sure to like, subscribe, share it with your mamas, with your tias, with your fellow sisters, with your brothers, anybody who needs these segments. We're super excited to start this. It's something that Sylvia has been wanting to do for a very long time. That's actually how I pitched her being on the podcast, was that we were going to start her Sylvia session episodes. And I'm very excited because it's also something Pau has always wanted to do. And sorry. We just wrong too. And subconsciously, it's also something I've been wanting to do, incorporate into Vive con Huevos, because ultimately it did kind of start with like mental health and wellness and how we really wanted it to go, and then we just kind of derailed and it went its separate ways.
All right. Life
And
has a weird
It
way of doing
evolved
that.
and it grew its own 2 feet, but now we're reeling it back in.
As we always do in
Yeah.
every episode.
So, guys, without further ado, Sylvia Session.
Yay.
Con Sylvia.
We're trying to figure out
That's
what,
the new
what our
jingle.
intro is going to be.
If
So let us
anybody
know.
wants to submit ideas, I'm
We're-
open.
Yeah.
We're taking creative ideas right now.
Yes.
But guys, these sessions
Sessions.
are gonna be like I said, revolved a lot more about wellness. I obviously know nothing about wellness. If you look at me, I'm shaped like a potato and I have horrible mental health. Why you should surround yourself with amazing
What a
people.
solid intro.
But this is why you should surround
Nothing
yourself
like
with
honesty.
amazing people who know more about this than you do, as a great support system. And realistically, you should be able to surround yourself with people that you're not afraid to come clean with and kind of tell them what you're experiencing in life and could help you through these dark times whenever you're going through certain stuff. Or maybe you just have questions and maybe you've never gotten into fitness or wellness because you've shied away of asking questions. And like, feel free. We'll make Sylvia a little link tree with her own little Google Forms if you guys want to submit questions, whatever it is.
I think my main goal is just so much of fitness and wellness seems inaccessible. And so if we can just make the conversations more normal and give people a very easy, digestible way to make this a better part of their lives, the better.
Yep.
There's also so much information out there. Just like,
Yeah.
where do you even start?
Yeah. And I know we've talked about that a lot with just the way we've talked about our health and wellness journeys. And I feel like it was so much that I had to like peel back layers to get to a point where I finally felt like, okay, I'm living a life where I'm incorporating wellness naturally into my life. But it took probably the first 2 or 3 years of like exercising and doing things. So if I can cut that time in half even for somebody else, that's also the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. And in a world, of a lot of information and technology, I guess today's kind of episode is going to wrap itself around that.
Yes.
Because there is so much information out there and we're getting fed so much information out there. And we're also surrounded by so many devices that feed us information just about ourselves. It's like, where do you even start?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it kind of messes with your mental health too, at least to a certain point. We might get into that a little bit. And,
Yeah. Well, I was inspired because I just got an Oura ring, but I got mine probably 4 weeks ago now, and I literally got it in the mail day 2 of me having food poisoning. So a little life hack for you: if you're getting an Oura ring, put it on when you're not doing so hot, and then it's going to be like blown away
Yeah.
by your progress, because every week it's like, wow, you really like moved your body, good job. I'm like, I was on my fucking deathbed for the first week, that's why. So the barometer hasn't been like perfect yet, but I also know it takes a while for it to track some data, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I already have a lot of feelings about it in the first month, but you've also had one way longer than I have.
Yeah. And it's funny that you made that comment, because I got mine around the holidays. So I got it for like Black Friday last year. And so my like speed of life was not what it normally was because of everything we were doing. I don't know what we were doing at the time that I remember being like, this is not the ideal time to put on my Oura ring, because it's not my typical like day to day. But exactly like you said, like the new year started and it was like, wow, you're doing great. Like all these flowers that I was like, I was supposed to be doing this anyway. Yeah. But I felt the same way when I first got it. I was like really excited, but I knew it was going to take some time. It takes about 3 months for it to like really get to know you and start to like pinpoint your just like understand your cycles and your levels of everything. So it's really nice now that there's days where like I don't even really look at it anymore, and then I'll go back and I'm like, oh yeah, like it did track that, or
I was a little hesitant to get it because I do feel, like you touched on this a little bit, I feel like some people get really heady about things. It was one of my biggest complaints with Kelly getting a Whoop.
I was gonna bring that up
because when he and I were first living together, and he was like, our sleep is so different, and scientifically, you guys have heard me rant about this before if you've been listening to the podcast long enough, it's like scientifically you're supposed to be sleeping in this like degrees and with no light and like everything. But it's been really validating to have my Oura ring, because I sleep with my laptop on, sometimes like a headpiece in, to listen to it until I pass out. And it's like, you got great sleep. Yeah. And so everything that is scientifically true, maybe for him or a majority of people, actually isn't for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the problem with the technology sometimes, is that it validates things or gets you super wrapped up in things that like you shouldn't hyperfixate on as much. So for me, it was, I want to get past like my getting out of birth control, regulate my hormones as best as I can on my own, and then I want a tool that can help me like fine tune. Like I didn't want this to be my main barometer, because I just have seen so many people get something and then they're like a slave to this gadget, and that's just not, I don't have an addictive personality. I'm not like that to begin with. So like it was like an ick to get it before it was like, no, now it's going to be like an efficient tool that I use, because I've already done everything up until this point where this is just going to help me dial everything in a little bit more. And honestly, I feel like Oura rings are a little more specific to women too. Whereas like I looked into the Whoop, and I know that the Whoop has really great barometers, but as a woman, the cycle and the hormonal part was the most important. It's been a trip. It's been really interesting to see certain things, and just like it kind of it isn't really telling me anything I don't already know. And I feel like again, that's my issue with other people sometimes, is they're like, I want it to like tell me this shouldn't be new information. I feel like these tools should come in when you're like needing them for a very specific purpose. And for me, it's, I know that my sleep, my eating patterns, and in conjunction with how I move sometimes don't make sense. So like I'll overeat on days when I'm not moving enough, and then I won't properly fuel sometimes before I move my body too much. And so I'm trying really hard to regulate my hormones, but I know that's such a big task of everything that I like, this just seemed like the next logical step, so I could like actually see things on something digital. Yeah. But I think I only ever, other than this, have had a Fitbit. Okay. And I just thought it was so ugly. Yeah. And I didn't want to wear it. But then you can't wear it with certain things, or like, then I want it to track, but it doesn't go with my outfit, or I'm like, I'm wearing something nicer.
Well, that's how I feel with like the Whoop. Because I when Pau got the Oura ring, she had asked me if I wanted one too. But I was like, no, like I have chunky fingers. I'm not going to wear it for work, because like I deal with chemicals all day, like, or I don't want to mess it up. And that's like, there was just so many factors within my daily life that was going to inhibit me from wearing the ring. Yeah. So I looked into the Whoop, but then I also already wear the Apple Watch, and I wear the Apple Watch so much.
Double fisting.
Yeah, literally. And I wear the Apple Watch so much, specifically just for work. So like, I'm not I mean, you need both of my hands for work. So like, if there is a message, I can check to see if it's important or not. And then I just felt I felt like it was going to be too much technology at one point with like the Apple Watch feeding me information, the Whoop feeding me information. Y sea lo que sea, the phone feeds you information without you even having an Apple Watch too. So it was just like an overwhelming feeling that I just decided to stick with only the watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the watch does a pretty good job. I guess for me, like I didn't go back to the watch because my watch broke. And so that's when I was like, okay, I need to get a new watch or I need to get something else. And I didn't go back to the watch because I wanted something to track while I slept. And I don't like sleeping with the watch. And then if you sleep with the watch, you have to charge it in the day. So then you lose the vitals from throughout the day, you know? So that's why I ended up choosing the Oura Ring, because I wanted something for the nighttime. But if you weren't trying to like track your sleep at the time, I don't think you were like caring about it because you weren't sleeping well. Yeah. So you were like, it's gonna come back like shit because it was like we were sleeping with the dog.
Everything I already know.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
and it was like winter time, so like Ollie likes going in it. Yeah, she's so, like now right now that it's starting to get a little bit colder. Now like, she's starting. No. Now she's starting to go in and out of the covers a lot, and I'm just like now I'm starting to get a little bit anxious because I know my sleep isn't like.
Yeah, it's like the winter isn't good sleep for Mario.
That's another thing. When I had food poisoning, I was in bed alone and dying, but I was sleeping with the dogs, and some of the best sleep I get is watching my show with my dogs in the bed with me. Yeah. And that's every way that you're not supposed to sleep technically for like a good restful night's sleep. Yeah. But for me, it's like the best REM that I get with all the things I'm supposedly not supposed to have.
Yeah. That's actually funny you say that, because there are times where Ollie will like come lay with me when I've already woken up, and I'll fall back asleep and she puts me into my deepest sleep. Like if you look at the Oura Ring, like I'm in like REM sleep at like 8 a.m. You know, like I'm not supposed to be, but like it's just weird how their like body and whatever, like their body heat or whatever it is that causes like that they transmit to you, puts you back to sleep in like such a deep sleep. Yeah. But and I know for you it's the opposite. But it's the opposite because she moves throughout the night. Yeah. Whereas when she sleeps with me, she doesn't move because it's just that short period of time until I have to get up.
Yeah. For me, Milo, he'll crawl under the blankets and just like find a nook somewhere. So it's like behind my leg or like right in the indent of my stomach. And then he's just out with me until he gets hot or has to pee or whatever. But I'm also, when I'm up in the morning, I'm up, but during my sleep I can like go to the bathroom, walk away, get him up, and I can go back to bed and go like back into deep sleep. Whereas I know that a lot of people, that'll like wake them up and then they can't go back into as deep of a sleep, or they can't go back to sleep at all. So I don't have those things. But it was nice because I almost started to get a little psyched out on it when Kelly would be like, well, that's not how you're supposed to sleep, science says. And I'm like, well, what the fuck have I been doing my whole life then? Because this is how I sleep. And so it is kind of nice to know that like everybody's just different. Yeah.
Well, and if that's how you've slept your entire life, then obviously your body is just used to that at that point, you know? And then you start to make changes. Like for me, I can't sleep with the TV on. Like a TV or noise, like I just can't do it unless it's like a meditation thing, and then that will put me to sleep. But like even like white noise, or like I'll try to do like, because I love falling asleep to the noise of the ocean, the real ocean, right? But I'll do like ocean noises on my phone, and like I cannot. It keeps me up all night. Yeah. So it's just like weird how you just get used to different things, and like your body, if you've been used to your whole life not sleeping with the TV on, then you don't sleep with it on. But if you've had it on before, if you're used to falling asleep with some type of noise, then it's just like how your body learns to relax, and so now you're you know, going into that.
It is interesting.
Yeah, technology is weird.
Like with technology at night?
Before I used to be with the TV on mute, and then but I would put it on a timer.
Oh, okay.
So I had to have it on, but I didn't care so much for the noise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You like the light that it was giving you?
I don't know what it was. I think it was just like I don't know. Huh. Yeah, it was weird. Sometimes I would fall asleep with the noise. With the volume up, but then it would start giving me really weird dreams.
Okay. Yeah. I've noticed that with the Ring. Like if we'll watch like a movie or a show before going to bed, that's like, I don't know, like a suspense or something, and my sleep is all over the place, versus like when we either watch just TikToks in bed or like don't watch anything, then it's like it's a completely different type of sleep. And it's really interesting to like see that, like if I went downstairs right now and watched, I don't know, like a scary movie, like my sleep all night would be completely different than last night's.
I'm trying to pinpoint when it gives me like my readiness score. There's some mornings I wake up and I'm like, oh, I got really good sleep, and it was like, actually, no, you should take it easy today. And I'm like, what? I could teach like 3 classes right now and be fine. And then it's not until I start moving that I'll notice like, oh fuck, this thing is kind of right. Like I actually have, and it's really interesting. So I'm really excited to keep using it and see what it does for me, because I feel like everything else I've tried, like Apple Watch is not for me. I didn't want to Whoop. I mean, Fitbit, I feel like is kind of outdated at this point, but I remember having it. I feel like
you don't even hear about the Fitbit anymore.
No.
I know. Yeah. But they still have them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're still around.
Now, after Paul and I moved out, I find it really hard, unless we're downstairs and I like fall asleep because I've had a long day. I can't fall asleep with the TV on.
I feel like you even struggle with like my meditations.
I was going to say, sometimes I even struggle with her meditations because I'm actually I'm a really light sleeper. And like estoy consciente de los ruidos afuera. Okay. But that's just like me and my stupid traumas. But like, I don't even know why I have these traumas, but like I'm conscious about like what's outside, or if they broke into the car. I think after they tried breaking into my car, I was a little even more conscious about what's going on outside. And then her white noise, or the one with the Oura, the app, trips me the fuck out, because I'm as light of a sleeper as I am, I also fall asleep super fast. So like she's like, do you want to hear some meditation? And like as she's like trying to choose one, I'm already knocked the fuck out. And then she puts one on, and then it starts with like, tonight. And I'm like, oh,
it's always, hi, my name's Oren.
My name is Rafael, and tonight we're gonna listen to it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I wake up and I'm like, como que me asusta. And I'm just like tripped out for like 5 seconds. I'm like, oh shit, it's just her meditation.
I'll never forget one time before I got the Oura Ring, I would put like meditations on Spotify, or like sleeping noises, because sometimes I can do like rainforest noise is like the one that I can't actually fall asleep to. And so I always put a timer, and like Spotify only gives you up to an hour, and by that time I'm normally asleep, and I forgot to put the timer on that night. And I remember it was like I had already kind of heard the noises, like I kind of like woke up and heard them, but I was like, oh, it's like I'm really good at ignoring things because I'm a deep sleeper. And I remember like Mario just going, babe, and like moving me, right? Like freaking the wildest way to ever wake up. And he's like shaking me, and I'm like, oh. But by the time I woke up, I knew why he was doing it. And so like I just turned, but I just heard him say like, your phone. Sorry. It's ready. Hold on.
Vive con huevos, compa. Lo que es. Casi una vez dije que
the funniest thing, because I just like I knew exactly why he was waking me up, and I just had enough time to like react. But there were some weird ass noises, and I remember
like some like jungle fucking like.
But at that point, it was like an alien was coming to get us.
Dude,
like,
no, it's good, dude. Like, I remember this night. That's why I started laughing earlier, because like. Not only was I pissed, I was confused, because I remember having some like weird ass dreams, and like I was just like I literally woke up and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, am I home? Like, there's something that like abduct me? I was just so tripped out, and I literally had like I felt like I was having an out of body experience. Like I felt hilarious. Like I was like on some sort of hallucinogen. And then
because it was some weird ass noises by that time. Like Spotify just didn't, like it just kept going, and so I was out of the rainforest noises. It was into like outer space. I don't fucking know. So then I was like, all right, can't do that anymore. And now with the meditations, I do really like the Oura Ring meditations. I wish there were more, because I haven't even
explored them. Is it on the app?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's kind of confusing to get like it's weird. It's not under meditation. It's like under something else, and then once you click on it, it takes you to it. And they have like meditation, sleeping noises, and then like stories that also like help you, are supposed to like help you fall asleep. I tried the stories once. I didn't like it. I don't like the voice. Like I need the just like. I don't like the constant, like, I don't know. It's weird because the meditation is like helping you breathe, or it's like breath work more than anything. And they're pretty short. Like the longest one is like 40 minutes. And so when I know I'm going to have a hard time to fall asleep, I'll put that one on because it'll be like a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like by 20 minutes, it's like, all right, it's done, you know?
I'm actually surprised because it tells you how quickly you fall asleep. And I grew up thinking like, oh, it takes me forever to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I fall asleep in like 10 to 20 minutes. And it used to take me like I would sit and roll around in bed for like hours until I would go to sleep. Okay. And so I think I had this predisposition where I was like, oh, it just takes me a while to fall asleep. But my Oura ring's like, no, bitch, you're out within 20 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Which I thought was also really interesting because that's just not what it feels like to me when I sleep.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
I do not like when it's like, hey, maybe try getting up, huh? And I'm like, this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm relaxing.
I hate when my Apple Watch does that.
Like time to stand up?
Yeah, because it'll do it specifically when I come home, like from work. And it's like,
bitch, I've been up all day.
Yeah, well, I spend like so many hours standing up. So when I get home, I'm like, I'm just going to sit down. But like, yeah, I'm watching, like, I'm like scrolling through TikTok and I get the notification. It's like, time to get up now. And I'm like, fuck you. I've been up for like 12 hours. Leave me alone. You get up.
This one's like, time to stretch your legs or something like that. And I'm like,
congratulations, you did
You're not my real mom.
I actually really like that it does that.
Really?
Because it gets me up. Yeah. Especially like at work. I think now working from the office and not getting up as often as like I would when I was home or even have like the walking pad. When I get that notification, I'm like, oh, yep, time to go on a walk. And then I just like leave my desk and like go for like a
nice.
short walk, you know?
I can see why it's like useful for other people. But a lot of times for me, I'm like, I woke up at 4 a.m. to go teach a class. Sometimes I teach 2 classes, sometimes 3 classes a day. So like, I'm not a lazy piece of shit. Yeah. And then it'll just be like, maybe try stretching your legs, huh? And I'm like, fuck you.
Maybe
it'll
you should
start to pick up those
patterns. Freaking lazy ass. I'm like, God damn, fuck you.
Hey,
it'll start to pick up those patterns and you'll probably get it less. Yeah. It's just right now it's like trying to understand, you know?
Right now it's like, don't go back to that first week when you were a lazy piece of shit. Like I was sick. I will say I feel like that's the double-edged sword with any technology. Like I think you can either become a slave to it and then you're so in your head about like what you are and aren't doing, or you use it as like little benchmarks and a tool. And I feel like that's what it should be. Yeah. And if you can't use it for that purpose, just don't get one. Like there's plenty of ways to know your body in other ways. But if you're really self-aware and you already are on a good roll, I feel like this is a good little like cherry on top.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
My mom, and by no means is she like obsessed with it to the point where like it's like it gets into her head. Yeah. But she definitely gets a little bit of anxiety to like not wear it. And like there's times where I forget it and I'm like, oh damn, that sucks because I won't like know my movement, you know? But I'm not like, oh my God, I forgot my ring. Like I'm anxious because I took it off. Yeah. Or even like for the wedding, like I didn't wear it, like I didn't take it with me to Oaxaca. Like I left it here and my mom was a little like, am I just not gonna wear this? And I was like, of course you're not. Like it's like bulky and not for the, you know, but she does definitely get into her head a little bit more about like not wearing the technology. Or like for the Apple Watch, like when we go work out and if she doesn't start it, it's like she didn't work out. Like in her head, she's like, it wasn't worth it because I didn't start my workout on the watch.
I'd actually be so curious to see how psychologically that works with people, because there's a lot of studies that say that you can think about a rigorous workout and your body will actually adapt to that and it will show that like you worked out, but all you did was think about it, because your brain is actually a lot more powerful than you think. Not to say that you should just think about working out and never do it.
Mario.
I'm thinking about working out right now. Shit, where my 6-pack?
100 push-ups. Done.
Hercules. Oh, look at my little Bill. Oh, he's a little Hercules. Show me muscle again. Oh, Hercules.
That's how I feel right now.
I would be curious about that, because I feel like I hate going back to Kelly so much, but it was just such a like traumatic thing in our relationship. But for him, he'll take it off when he drinks because he knows that I'm already not going to get a good night of sleep, and he doesn't want to get super heady about it. But then when he would wear it, I feel like how much of that is you actually psyching yourself out about certain things because you have that predisposition. Whereas for me, I'll still wake up some days and I won't even check it till like later that day or the next day, and then just be like, oh wait, I never like went back and logged that was like a cycling class that I taught, and so I'll go back and like edit things. But I'm already just not that type of person to be a slave to this thing, but not everybody's like that. Some people are like, what did I do and how long did I do it for and what does that mean and how many calories can I consume now? And I feel like if that's your personality, technology is not for you. Like you need 100%. To learn healthier attachments to taking care of your body in other ways.
But you can also become that person. Even if you're in the right mind space, you can also become that person once you get the technology.
That's true.
Because not to pick at your mom, but like now I not that I get frustrated with her, but like sometimes she's like, oh, my watch is already telling me that it's bedtime. I need to go to sleep. And we're out like in a social setting. And I know she says it like jokingly, but there are people out there that are like, they take it very seriously. Or like when we were talking, I was messing around with my suegra when she was asking if she was going to take it to the wedding and stuff like that. And I was like, no, because then you're going to get in your head. It's going to be 9 p.m. You're going to be at the venue and you're going to be like, it's bedtime. My watch is telling me that I need to go to sleep. And that's all I'm going to hear from you from like 9 p.m. until you leave. And then the next day it gets worse because then you're psyching yourself out because like I didn't get enough sleep. And now it's like telling me that I didn't recover well enough. And now you're psyching yourself out because of this. And it's like, you're distracting yourself from like being present. Yeah. And I think that's where my issue with wearing so much technology comes from. Cause like I'll only wear the Apple Watch to work and only because I just need to know.
It's a functional purpose.
Yeah. I only need to know my messages. I'm actually horrible at tracking all the stuff that the Apple Watch has. Even my steps, even without it, I don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because I know myself and I am that type of person that once I start tracking it and start looking at all the data, I'm a real big data person, which is why I get so head ass about like the Vive con Huevos stats, because I know myself. So it's like I don't want to add something else that I know it's my physical needs, which I know I should.
Well, maybe you should wear the Apple Watch outside.
Which I was gonna say. Thank you for calling me out. Which I know I probably should, but at the same time too, I beat myself up so much that I will take it to the extreme. And then now I'm going to be not eating well, or I'm not going to be eating enough because now I'm psyching myself out that like Mario.
You won't be Big Huevo anymore. You'll be 10,000 step Mario because he's going to take that shit seriously.
No, but I get what you're saying because you do have an addictive personality. Like your personality does, you know,
hyperfixate on things.
Yes, exactly. And so you're right, because even if you won't use it for the healthy reasons, you'll start getting really unhealthy about it. Yeah. So like he said, like he won't eat right because in his mind, the more he eats, the more
it's like a very like old like dated mentality.
Like, even if he's eating like well and like the protein and whatever like it balance, he still thinks that he should be eating less. We've had that conversation so many times because he's just like, no, I'm not gonna eat today. I'm like, you cannot eat. Like like no, but that's true.
I've stopped a lot, but like I know if I start gathering the data, it's just gonna be over for me because I know myself.
Well, it's like the scale.
The scale thing. Like I still haven't dropped the scale. If you've been with this podcast long enough,
you still have that shit.
Yeah, it's still there.
Break it one day. Oops.
I'm gonna steal it one of these days when I come over to record.
I'm gonna cry. Which is funny because like immediately coming back from the honeymoon, that was one of the first things I did the next morning. And I already knew I had gained a shit ton of weight. Dude, estamos comiendo lo pendejo. I was drinking a shit ton. Like we obviously weren't taking care of ourselves. I ended up getting a gout flare up because I wasn't drinking enough water and I wasn't flushing out my system. So like I knew self-consciously, I was like, you gained weight, bro. So I don't know why, like in my mind, I was like, I just need to see
how much.
And like it was like 3 pounds, but
which could also just be regular like water weight fluctuation.
Or the fluctuation, you know. But the whole I had something to say about my mom's thing and I forgot what it was. Anyways, I'll come back to it because I totally forgot.
Picking at you, so, but it's just that like it's like the competitive.
Okay. Your mom and Kelly are really getting it this episode.
No, I remembered that because you mentioned how it can turn you into that. And I think 100% when I had my Apple Watch, I was very much like that, where like I wanted to see my steps, and it because of the fact I could see it on the screen, it was like one of those like, oh, I can just check here.
Yeah.
Versus like here I have to go into a whole app and check and like it's a whole other like
it's a whole extra
step.
Totally.
And I remember being that person that would like go to spin and like, oh my God, I didn't start my watch and be super upset about it. Or like because I was going at 5 a.m, sometimes I would forget it and then I would be like so upset about the fact that I would forget it. That's actually the reason I decided to not get the Apple Watch. Because I was like, I'm too addicted to this and I shouldn't be. Like it's not just because I worked out and didn't log it doesn't mean I didn't work out. And like what you said with the whole like your mind, I really do think it would like ruin my workouts or my body. Like I wouldn't receive the workout as well because I was so in my head about like, oh, I didn't track today's workout, you know?
For sure.
So it's just funny how like it all just circles together from like one to the next.
It's interesting because now that I've had it and I've gone back to teaching a little bit more and being back on the bike, there's some workouts where I'm just like, oh, I was an animal. And it's like, yeah, you burned like a little under 300 calories. And I'm like, what? And then there's another day where I'm like super gassed. I have to get off the bike a ton and I burn almost 400 calories. Yeah. And so it doesn't even make sense for what I think I'm outputting. Yeah. So it's interesting just to see it. But I feel like it's what it would do for the average person. For me, it's doing the opposite where I'm like, oh, it's just convincing me more that I just need to keep living and using it as that tool. Because I see it and I'm like, that's not even what I thought. Yeah. Like that's the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. But I don't want to prove it wrong or like counteract it. I'm just like, oh, I
fighting with
like
the robot.
I didn't. Yeah. Like I guess I don't know myself as well as I thought I did in these little ways. And so it's kind of just cool because it's helping me learn more. And that's what it should be doing. It shouldn't be controlling my life. It should just be helping me understand better. Yeah. I do have to say, I love how technology has developed though. My friend Claudia has the Garmin watches and that's like one of the best ones on the market. Like out of everything, it's been proven to be better than the Whoop, anything else. But I don't know anybody that actually moves more than her. Like she loves movement. She's always running and doing all kinds of stuff. And hers will constantly tell her like, bitch, you're in the red. Like you're in the negative. Stop. And she just doesn't care. And she just keeps moving until she gets sick or like has to slow down or whatever. So I do just find it so interesting, like what everybody's choices are and then how they respond to those choices. Cause she's got the best thing on the market, but she doesn't listen to a fucking thing it says ever. It's like, hey, slow down. You're at like -50. And she's like, that's fine. I'll just train for a marathon now. It's like, no, bitch, stop. Really so funny. I always think that that's really interesting how psychologically we just process everything because everybody is so different.
That is really funny. Just the one that psychs me, like the stat that psychs me out the most is the stress. It's
that
really
one's been
interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah. I took a screenshot and posted it on Instagram the other day because it was like, hey, whatever you've done the past week or two, like you're managing your stress. And I'm like,
I haven't worked
bitch.
and I've been in Oaxaca. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for noticing.
It was that. And then coming back to like exercise and it's like, oh, the habits you're picking up. And I'm like, this thing has no idea that I used to teach 10 times as much. Yeah. And so that's been really interesting too. But I don't know. I like it, but I can see why people get so wrapped up in it. And there's like certain people where I'm like, you shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But what you were talking about though, like how it's developed, it's crazy though. Cause I remember when the Apple Watch first started monitoring like your heart rate. I remember an article came out like a while back ago that like it started it basically saved some guy's life. Yeah. Because he was about to get a heart attack and it noticed like it noticed the unusual rhythm of the heart and they're like, something's off. You need to go see a doctor. No me acuerdo cómo estuvo el pedo. I'm butchering it, but somewhere along those lines. And he went to the doctor and he was like pretty close to getting a heart attack or something.
So many of my friends will tell me that their Oura ring not only tells them when they're about to start their period, but when they're going to get sick.
Yeah, it does. It just tells you like you're straining yourself or something. I don't know. It's like a little it says minor, like none, minor, and then severe or something. I've never gotten sick while having it like that bad.
Yeah.
Because I think it picks up on your like your fever. Like if you get a fever.
Temperature.
So,
which is the
your
same
temperature.
with, I think, your period. It
Yeah.
measures your temperature.
Which is crazy, like to think about like how much it can evolve, because you wrote something down in the notes about like measuring your glucose and things like that. Like how far away are we from like wearing something that's just gonna like prick you and like it'll tell you in the morning?
Well, they have that for
it
people with
kind of already
diabetes
exists.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can actually, anybody can
Or like
get it.
I don't know.
And
like
I
a
saw
little-
on
I don't
the
know if I'm-
app for Oura, you can connect it to
Yeah.
one, and now
Oh.
it can read your glucose level.
Really?
Too.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I don't know if I'm tripping or if I saw a movie or like a video or a skit or something.
Black
But
Mirror.
it might have been like a Black Mirror episode where like they wake up in the morning and they use the restroom and like it measured like your urine and it was like how hot it was, and that like gave off like a lot of like internal things that were happening, or like go check the doctor because something's off, or like your pee was at 98 degrees, por ejemplo, and usually you're at 80 something. Like, did you drink? So it's like,
Actually, you know what's crazy? I was looking into this the other day because they now have toilets where it's not a bidet, but it literally like studies your poop.
huh?
And that's a new thing where you'll literally just it after like a month it has the same thing where it like needs to learn you, but it'll go through like a month of you just like taking your morning and your afternoon and whatever bowel movements.
They're rich.
And it'll start to tell you like,
That's
hey,
really
this is
interesting.
what's wrong with your gut biome. This is so like, I think what we're able to do and what we're able to find out about ourselves through technology is really neat. But then I think the step that people are missing is like, what are you going to do with that information? So,
And that's where Sylvia Session comes in.
Yeah,
Full
that's
circle.
so interesting that they have something like that. I feel like I don't know how I feel about it. I need to
I don't
process
want
it a
one.
little.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think
that's
I would.
a little too deep. 'Cause
Right?
then I was like, what
Like,
happens
too
if like you
accessible.
both use this? You have to use different
That
toilets.
was the first thing that came
Like,
to my mind. Like, is there a profile? Like, do I?
know.
Is it me
It's
right
like
now?
Mario, you're pregnant.
I'm like, oh shit. This is why I've been fucking crying for a month.
No, that was something that went through my mind. But another thing is that like I feel like those things are also things that someone professionally needs to be able to
Yes.
read and tell you, because it's like getting blood work and seeing it like all the way over, like seeing the scale like all the way to the right and not understanding, and like that's actually good, you know, like
Right.
you're gonna read all of these results and you're not really gonna know how to read them. So like how good is that for you to actually
100%. And so when I was going through all my hormone stuff and I did all the blood work, like the clinic I worked with was great because they gave me this list of like 14 different tests to do. And when I went to Sharp and I gave them that list, they were like, "Es mucho." What is all this? And they took 7 vials of blood just to fulfill those exams that I asked for. And then I got them back and I was like, I still don't know what this means.
Somebody tell me what this
So I have to
means.
sit down with somebody and do that
Yeah.
anyway. So I do agree. I do think that it gets to a point where it's like, is that even really necessary? Because what are you going to do with that information? Do you even know what it means when you get it back? And so one of the next things I want to do, because I've done my hormone testing, I do think that the saliva testing is better than the blood testing, because the blood testing, especially for women, is always just going to tell you based on your cycle what's going on. And so unless you're going to do a blood test every week for a month, you're not going to get as conclusive as something that's like saliva, your urine or stool sample. But I'm really interested in doing the biome test for like your gut biome,
I'm
because
really
there's
interested in that one
so
too.
much about your gut that's important. It's
the one
like
that Danny
the
did.
Yeah,
gut
I've been wanting to do
glucose
that too.
are the two ones that I want to like get better with.
Yeah.
Is I want to understand my glucose levels, because I'm a sugar addict and I know that that's not helping me trim in ways that I want to lose weight and trim my body. But I also know that my gut health is probably all over the place, because I can stomach and handle a lot, but that doesn't mean I should be.
Yeah.
And so
The complete opposite. I'll eat a Dorito and I'll be shitting myself for like 5 days.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
bad.
I'm very interested in what your gut biome would come back as too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
No, mine's
it's all
horrible.
over the place.
Because and like I mean we've talked about this. I've talked about this openly on the pod. But it was like my gut health is like horrible, and I try to take care of myself, and I literally have to plan like outings or like when we go on vacation. Like if we're gonna if we go to Europe, I'm like I can't eat for 2 days before because I don't want to like shit myself on the plane. Not shit myself on the plane, but I don't want to have to go to the bathroom on the plane.
Like he didn't eat the day we came back from Cancun, like
Yeah.
all day until we landed in San Diego.
Yeah, and that's such a short flight. Like it's only like 4.5, 5-ish
That's
But you
hours.
didn't eat all day. We didn't
Yeah.
leave until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I know myself and I just don't want to like have to use the restroom or like, you know, or I think at that point it's just more of it's a confined space.
Yeah.
And it's already so tiny and I don't want to use the restroom and then blow it up and then open the door. Y ya
I think
fumigue todo el avión.
what trips me out the most is that your doctors tell you that's normal. Because every time he goes to the doctor, I'm like,
Yes.
please
Yeah.
tell them that you literally go to the bathroom this many times a day and that this happens after you eat.
And
they all
did.
say that it's freaking normal.
Yeah, and I did because I got scheduled to get a colonoscopy and the one that measures your from the throat. I forget what that one is, but because I told them I was like, well, you know, there's been some scares in my family history. Like I'm kind of scared. You know, I go to the bathroom a lot.
Like le tuvo que echar mucha salsa a sus tacos.
Yeah, like
to get this.
Yeah, and like they told me, okay, well, let's get it done. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And then. Like I'm just very curious because like yeah it is I don't think it's normal but like every time I go in and I tell my doctor they're like oh well you should be happy that you have this many bowel movements like some people pray for this many bowel movements a day and I'm like well yeah but sometimes it's a little concerning like
I think it's concerning.
like I'm in the club and I need to go to the bathroom like no my people need me
People need me.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing I think I've just learned is that these things really help you they should help you learn that you're just so unique to everyone else because something that would be normal for you and isn't
true.
normal for me doesn't mean that you're unhealthy and I'm healthier than you. Like quite the opposite. I think my gut biome is probably pretty bad and I've never really done the work to do that. But my Oura ring is like, oh, good job moving your body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but there's so many other things that I know are internally wrong. And so just
but I guess
figuring
that's where
out
like
how to...
like you were saying, like, what are you going to do with that information?
Yeah.
Just being aware and like educating yourself a little bit. Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, the bathroom, the toilet thing would be cool. And then like, I don't know, in my head, I just started like spiraling. I was like, well, what if you just like feed that through my portal to my doctor and then it, like tells them because you already have a profile.
Yeah.
So, but then I'm like, but that's a lot of invasion of privacy.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a really cool tool.
Yeah.
But it always gets in the hands of not the wrong people, but the people that don't know
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to use it. And then it just turns into this like bigger thing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like the fact that it's going to become that accessible can be a little concerning, you
Yeah.
know? Like I'm all about making health and wellness accessible and like these conversations happening. But I just think that's like, it's like being able to like draw my own blood and get my own test results.
Exactly.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do also think there's a lot to be said for Western and Eastern medicine. And I feel like that's a whole other topic we could dive into at some point because so many Western doctors will just be like, no, you're fine. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to like a Chinese medicine doctor, they're like, fuck no, you have like a bad spleen, you have this, you have that. And then that standard is so different too, just based on who you're talking to. And I think that part's also concerning because you could have all of this information and then you could still just go to a doctor that's like, nope, you're fine. And I'm like, no, but I don't feel fine. Something's clearly wrong. And it was kind of like that when I did my hormone testing when they're like, you don't need all 14 of these. I'm like, don't tell me what I need because you haven't lived in my body for the past year. You have no idea what I've been dealing with. Like, I'm miserable. I was like suicidal at one point. The last thing I want is the doctor I'm coming to for help to try to look for answers to tell me that I'm doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't know what it's like to be in my body every day.
Well, then
and
they
what
tell you
it's-
to like exercise or like
yeah, they're
exercise
like, you
more.
have high cholesterol. You should exercise more and maybe just like, and I was like,
This is what I do for a living.
it was when I was doing the most too. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I want to hurt you so that you just understand a fraction of what I've been dealing with. And ultimately, when I went and looked, to your point, my cholesterol wasn't even that high.
Yeah.
So it like could have been just that day or like my cycle or something else.
Whatever you
But
ate
they were
that
going
morning.
off of like, oh, you just have high cholesterol, period. They weren't looking at the level. They just saw that there was like an imbalance there. And then that was their prescription.
Yeah.
Like just maybe move your body more. I'm like, bitch, if you knew how much I move my body in a day.
They tell you to move less.
Yeah,
Seriously.
they would.
I've had doctors decline my blood work, like the labs that I want to get. Like they've told me, like, no, you don't need it. I'm not gonna give it to you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's kind of what they wanted to do. And I was like, no, I didn't eat this morning.
Yeah.
I came here, take the fucking 7 dials.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. That's kind of like the similar process that I had when I started going to the nutritionist, because I was like, that's what I did too. I like went in and I was like, I don't feel well. Like I this, that, and that. And that's when they were like, well, like, do you exercise? Like, do you do this? You should just eat more chicken, you know? And I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me.
Like a sick dog.
Yeah, I remember like
You should
It's
eat
just
chicken
and
and
rice.
rice.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, literally.
But I've always been really interested in going to like a Chinese medicine doctor.
too.
I have a friend that goes to somebody here in San Diego that I honestly, I'm going to butcher the details because I don't have them all, but they give her like different medicines throughout the month to like get her back on track to like where she needs to be. I'll have to ask her for the information, but she does say that they'll give her like teas. My mom and my grandma in the past have done the tea thing. My mom has really bad circulation, and it really helped her like in the past. And
so when I was going to my acupuncturist, because acupuncturists usually go to Chinese medicine school, she would give me like teas for my bath.
Okay.
And then she would give me these like Chinese medicine, like different herbs and like pills and things. One of them helped me sleep better than any sleep or weed or anything I've ever taken. The other one was for circulation, because she would cup me after acupuncture. And for anybody that does cupping, I highly recommend doing it this way, because I'm not going to be able to give you the prolific reason why, but essentially the acupuncture goes underneath the fascia and opens it up so that it's now at the point where you can use cupping to move things around, because it's all been like lifted to the surface. And so I went to her because I wanted to try cupping, and she was like, I don't do cupping as a service. I do it as an additional service with your acupuncture, and here's why. And so when she explained it to me, I was like, actually, that makes a ton of sense. I don't know why more people don't do it that way. And so she would do that. And then she noticed after a few rounds of doing the cupping, and she was like, would you ever want to try blood cupping? Because there's something that's just like not circulating through your blood properly. And with blood cupping, they take like a little prong of like 6 little needles.
Okay.
They tap it into your skin until it draws blood, and then they put the cup on, and it just fills the cup with like blood. But it's all the stagnant, like brown, like really thick blood that is just like not circulating through your veins properly. I had so much energy that week. The week after she did that, it was crazy.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. And so, she only did it once, never recommended it to me again. I haven't done it since. So I also really trusted her because she like learned my body for a few weeks, and I was going to acupuncture every week for a while with her just so she could like learn me faster. And then she was like, let's do this because you clearly need like some of this just out of your body.
Wow.
And we did that, and it helped massively with a ton of things. And I remember within the next few months, I was able to start dropping weight again. And I wasn't changing anything I was doing. I was still eating the same meal prep. I was still moving the same amount, but it was just like that stagnation that I had. And I've always had really good healthcare. My mom's always worked for hospitals. Like, I just feel like anytime I've gone to a Chinese doctor, they have just a little bit more of like
there's an explanation behind
yeah,
things.
and there's like a broader horizon that they have where it's like, no, this is something really ancient and timeless. I do have to give Sharp their flowers though, because recently, I think within the past few years, they did it's called a women's wellness program where they actually do 2 full days for women, and they'll do acupuncture, and they like try to mesh the Eastern and the Western, which I think every hospital should do, because, and I know that no Western hospital would ever actually fully mesh that because they don't like believe in that.
Yeah.
But it makes a ton of sense. Like, if you can't do it the natural way, then yes, I think you should take the Western medicine route to see what's going on and probe further and do the bigger tests and maybe medication. But I feel like that's just the plan A.
Yeah.
Whereas the plan A should be, how do we get rid of this naturally and what's actually going on with your body? And then if none of that is working, then sure, like maybe there's something deeper, or maybe you have a underlying condition. But I feel like the Band-Aid and bubble gum of just like, just put you on antibiotics, or let's just do this,
well,
or no, you're crazy. That's normal. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to tell people what to do, but I really do think, like, I give my props to the nutritionist that Paulina found, because she took it and I always try to I'm trying to convince my dad and my mom to go, but it's like she took a whole different approach where like she looks at your blood work and then she kind of tells you what your body is lacking, what you need. And I really liked it because it wasn't a nutritionist where you're like, you got to stop eating carbs and you got to do this and the fistful of like whatever. I forget it because I fucking hate nutritionists, like the traditional nutritionist. And then when I started going with her, and she didn't take anything away. She's like, you like rice? All right, eat your fucking rice. But look, you need more of this in your diet. So include more of this. Eat all the fucking rice you want, but like do this. And like you said, it was more of a like internal change versus like here's some quick diet pills and then get over it.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like a good nutritionist like that, they're also like, oh, for someone like me that constantly has sweet cravings, clearly your body is asking for something that you're not giving it, that it's supposed to be having. So how can we make that work? What kind of recipes can I give you that can like offset that craving so you don't have it? But again, I feel like you go to most doctors and they're just like, just don't do this, do this. And it's so like cut and dry where, yeah, maybe that would work for you, but that probably wouldn't work for me because you didn't even look at my gut biome. You didn't ask for blood work. You didn't do anything to probe further to know what my baseline is for you to even make that recommendation. You're just giving me like a universal thing that you think is going to work for everybody. But at the end of the day, it doesn't. Like the way I sleep is not the way you sleep, is not the way he sleeps or he sleeps. And somehow we all sleep okay in our own way. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just understanding your body. Like everybody is different. Like, you know, there's no like,
which is cool that now that we have like these tools like the Oura ring and the Whoop where you get to understand your body a little bit more. But then, you know, there's people like me who get really head ass and like data driven and you're like, why the fuck didn't I sleep?
Yeah. I think for me it was again just hormones, my sleep, and then I know that additionally I'm gonna have to look into like my gut biome and my glucose. But I wanted this because I know you can connect it to the glucose, so that's cool. But I'm taking everything a day at a time. I'm like, you need to learn me first. So I'm just gonna like not even worry about it because none of this is accurate.
No.
Did you feel like you were trying to get ahead of yourself at one point? Because I like quick data, so I just feel like that giving it that month to learn me, I would get so annoyed where I would get frustrated and just put it away.
Yeah, I actually debated when I got it because I literally got it in the mail the day after I confirmed that like I didn't have COVID and it was food poisoning. And I went to the doctor and got the IV and the fluids and everything and then came home. And that's when I literally put it on because I was in bed and I didn't have anything else to do. And I was like, fuck it. But for a second, I was like, no, I want it to know me when I'm perfect. Like when I'm back on my shit, when I'm working out, 5 times a week or more. And then I was like, no, I need it to actually just know me for everything. Like I'm about to travel next week for the wedding. I still want it to know what it's like because I do travel. Like I need it to understand that my life isn't a static routine. I don't have a morning and a bedtime routine. And so if this thing is going to actually give me what I need it to give me, it needs to know that I'm very multidimensional and
it
like
has a
everyday
travel
looks. Does it really?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
So then you just like, you tell it when you're traveling. So then it knows that your levels are going to be off, but it knows why they're off.
Oh, see, I didn't tell her that.
No, I've done it too.
I didn't tell her that. That's crazy.
I also have never used it. I also have never used it because I didn't find out until, I think I found out after our last Oaxaca trip in March. And then like we hadn't done anything big after that. So I haven't said it. And since I didn't wear it to the wedding, like I just never got to put it on that travel mode, but I'll do it the next trip we take and see how it does. Cause I'm interested to see the type of levels it does give you or like what the recommendations or whatever it tells you while you're on vacation. Cause it is interesting. I for sure, like, I remember when I got it, I got it mainly because of the hormonal, and I just wanted to understand my cycle deeper as much as like I'm in tune with my cycle. And it takes 3 months to like really understand your cycle. And I was like, you have to be kidding me. I have to go through 3 periods until this thing understands
until you get
me.
it.
Yeah. But like, I have a friend that actually knew she was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant because of the ring.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I have heard that apparently for like any hormonal thing, it's like really good to just like read your vitals and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's like the biggest reason why it's a little more woman inclined, because for men, like there's not that many intricacies for you guys.
We're
You
just
wake
really
up, your
cut and dry,
testosterone is high, you go to bed, it's low. You wake up, it's high, you go to bed, it's low, and that's it.
Lovely.
Yeah, I know. And for us, it's like even on the times where I should have higher estrogen or progesterone or whatever, like I don't sometimes feel those effects. So that's how I know that I'm still not okay hormonally. Like I know all the research. I did my research as far as like when I'm supposed to fast along with my period. And even when it comes to that time, I'm like, no, but I still have like really low energy when I shouldn't right now. So I know something is still very off. And so I'm excited because I feel like this will help me a lot, but I'm trying really hard not to get ahead of myself and just like let it take in everything for 3 months. And then we'll see what happens. But
which is hard because you're also like a very competitive person. So like I feel like you're just
I
constantly.
say I'm not, but I fucking am.
So I feel like you're competing against yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like from a guy's standpoint, it's just you are competing. Like you're constantly competing with yourself and you want to be better. I mean, I think this goes for anybody, right? You always like, you want to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
But then now you have all this data tracking all this shit. And now you're like, I need to be
like,
better than the person that was yesterday.
You're worse off than yesterday.
Yeah.
Your readiness score is garbage today. You thought you slept well? No, you didn't, bitch.
Yeah. And I think that's I am huge on my sleep. And like, the more I've gotten into like my health and like tracking stuff like that, like I know with like, well, with you and with Kelly and with Pau, like everybody's so adamant about like you need to sleep well, like that's gonna help you lose weight and like your readiness scores and que no sé qué tanto. And I already know I have really fucked up sleep. I blame a lot of it on Ali, especially when it's cold. So like I don't want to see that. And like I know I'm gonna get competitive with it. And I was like, I need to be better and I need to sleep better. And last night I didn't get any sleep. And it's gonna become one of those things where like I feel like I would become an asshole because I know these apps are telling me I didn't get enough sleep. So I'm going to kind of like validate.
You're in your head more.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of validate my reactiveness to people.
But that's what would happen with Kelly. He'd be like, well, my Whoop said that this and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's telling you that you only got 5 hours of sleep and you know that the ideal is at least 7.5 or more for you.
Yeah.
But like, do you feel sleepy? Can you go do a workout? Or is it just that you feel like you shouldn't because your Whoop says something? Like, and I'm such a feeler that I think that part frustrates me out of people where I'm just like, who gives a fuck what it says? How do you feel? Because even when mine is like, yeah, you're ready to conquer the day. I'm like, I'm fucking exhausted today. Like 89% readiness is I still feel like I barely slept. But that's not what my ring is saying. And so I think it's more than anything, I'm trying to keep it as an observer, like, oh, that's really interesting. And then just continue living my life the way I was going to anyway.
That's definitely what I do. My mom gets really, or I don't know if she still does, but at the beginning would get really attached to the numbers. Like when she was like in the lower 80s or the 70s, you know, she's like, why am I not in the 90s? Or she'd go out to dinner and then in the morning, like she'd be like, you guys, like my readiness score is at 67 because I went out to dinner last night and had a few drinks, you know? And I get it because like it happens to me too, where I'm like, yep, like I went overboard last night, like shouldn't have drank that much. But it's just kind of like, oh damn, like, yeah, my score sucked today. I'm going to just take it a little easier or whatever.
Well,
but
and it's interesting because some people, when you drink, they have really bad sleep, and then obviously your recovery shit for the next day, and then you're hungover and whatever. But because I don't get hungover, it's been really interesting, like from your wedding and from any time that I've worn it recently and gone out. Like last night, I went out and I'm not getting those same effects that everybody else is getting. Like I still wake up okay. Yeah. And so somebody could also look at that and be like, oh, I could always drink more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it could also become super unhealthy for you to validate the things that you're like, oh no, I know I'm straight. But like, no, you probably still shouldn't be drinking all that alcohol. Like I feel it in other ways. Yeah. I feel the inflammation, but my ring said I'm okay. So I'm just going to do it again tomorrow.
I slept well.
Right. Yeah. And so, I think it's all very interesting. It's just so, like with anything, I feel like it's so case by case. And I feel like with all the options you have, like you could have the Garmin, the Apple, the Fitbit, the Whoop, even still, like, I know certain things are not for me. Like the Garmin watch, as much as I know that's the best thing on the market for you, and even as a health and wellness professional, I'm like, I wouldn't even need all of that because I'm barely using it for what this is worth. So like having that next level for me would just kind of be a waste of money. Yeah. And it's like pretty expensive. I think that one's like a few $100s more than this one even is. But then the Whoop is like also a bunch of shit I don't need. So I was like, this is a good balance for just what I purely need it for. And everything else is just kind of fluff. Like it's nice to know, but I'm just going to see how that goes over time. And if over time I'm like, okay, my sleep and my readiness score aren't like the best, I'm constantly in the 70s, low 80s, then probably some of the weight I can't trim is because of the lack of sleep. Right. But like I need to see that after a longer period of time.
Not a night or whatever.
Or even a month. Like it's like after half a year, if what you're doing isn't working, this is a really cool tool to go back on those 6 months and be like, okay, what can I pick apart from this? And I feel like that's how people should use it. Whereas people use it the other way with that instant gratification of, oh, it says I'm ready.
Let's go.
Conquer the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you make things worse. I am curious though, with everything that is available, what's something that you wish they would invent technologically for your health and your wellness that doesn't exist, or maybe that does exist, but it doesn't exist to the full capacity?
Wow, that's a really good question.
I don't know. Now that we said that toilet thing, I'm stuck on that. But only because I'm just so curious about my gut health, because I know I have such a shit, like I have a shit gut health. Like it is, it is. I've always
Pun
said
intended.
it. Yeah. And I've always said it. Like I know I have really bad gut health. And I mean, realistically, I mean, I know I do it to myself because I tend to overeat or I binge drink, or like I do so well during the week, but like I know on the weekends I like fuck everything up. And I know myself, and I know because like the day after drinking, I'm in the bathroom like half of the morning, or like I don't feel well, or I just feel like that acid at the bottom of my stomach just kind of sitting there. So like I already know I had such bad gut health that like I wish there was something else that would like help me figure out what the hell's wrong, you know?
So Toto and Throne developed smart toilets and devices. These systems use sensors, cameras, and AI to measure elements like the amount, hardness, the color of your stool, and provide health insights on a companion app. So the sensors and cameras are a module on the toilet bowl similar to a barcode scanner, and it'll shine a light on your stool to measure properties.
This is Mario's anus.
And then the AI analysis will sometimes be trained by physicians to compare data against the database of a healthy and unhealthy waste item to identify potential health indicators for you.
I think that's where my issue is though too, because like obviously on like the Western medical, well, I think on any scale really, I'm obese. But I think
I'm technically obese.
Yeah, and that's where I was.
Just crazy.
That's what I was gonna. That's where I was going to. Where it's like
the only thing that's fat is this ass.
Like, theoretically, for like my height, I need to be like at like 210 pounds or something like that. And I'm like, I wasn't even 210 pounds at my healthiest. Yeah. Like, or my skinniest. Like
for me, it's because I'm only 5'6".
So I just feel like those scales are just so.
Yeah, and even the BMI, like. I recommend to people the in-body scans because even just outwardly measuring your BMI, according to BMI, I'm obese.
Yeah, according to BMI.
However, I also have a collapsed spine with my scoliosis. I should be 4 inches taller. So if I were as tall as my spine should be, then I wouldn't be obese anymore. And so even that is like,
which is crazy because I think you're tall as it is. Like you're not freakishly tall, but you're tall.
Yeah, I'd be 4 inches taller if my spine wasn't crooked. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That's how compressed and like crooked I am. Which is really weird.
You 4 inches taller is wild.
I know.
Because you're like tall as it is.
It's funny because a few people have told me like, oh, you present or like you seem taller than you are. I'm like, how did you know? That I should
my
be 4
aura.
inches taller. My aura.
That is weird.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, I got that measured. It was more before because I'm actually shrinking, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. I should probably wear a back brace or something, but
I wish I was
here
taller.
We are. You wish you were taller?
Yeah.
You're already pretty fucking tall.
Yeah, but I wish I was taller.
Why?
I think it's just an ego thing. a presence thing, like my conquering lands is coming out, you
boy.
know.
That really came full circle.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Your question is a really good question. I don't know. Like, I feel like there is something and that I can't like pinpoint. The toilet thing really threw me off too. And the only reason is because at the beginning of this year, I said that this was a year, and we can go back to listen to that episode. I said this was a year I would take care of my gut.
Yeah,
And
I remember you saying
did
that.
not get anywhere near that because
It's okay, the way.
you know, yeah. I'm not beating myself up about it. I knew that this year I wasn't gonna, like, I didn't set a ton of goals for myself knowing that we had the wedding coming up. But at the bachelorette, I said that I wanted to get back into like my like health and wellness and like going back to the nutritionist and starting to study all of that again. And my gut biome had been like on my mind again and like getting those testings done. So now the fact that there's like that technology coming out, because I know that like studying your stool can also like help you know if you're gonna have cancer or like something, if there's something wrong with you and you can't pinpoint what it is. Like the stool tests also really help you. I recently
I have PTSD.
Oh, from your
from my first and only stool sample I've ever had to give.
I didn't realize that they like would make you take it home. Like I figured you just do it there.
I wish I could have done it there.
Yeah.
I have a friend where her husband has to do it every month because he has like some kind of health condition. And it is the most violating thing I've ever done. We're about to get a little graphic. I'm really sorry. If you're eating,
Warning.
maybe stop.
Warning.
They give you this like half moon looking basin and you put it in the toilet and it has like a lip. So it like sits in the toilet so that when you take a shit, it goes into this bin instead of in the toilet.
Right.
And then you have to remove this little thing and you have to take a popsicle stick and like put it in all these vials. And the vials, there's 3 that are filled with liquid. And then they're like, okay, just make sure the liquid rises to like this level. And there's a line for those 3. And then the 4th one is just like stool. Like there's nothing in it. It's just put your shit in there. But that 4th one, you have to get to the lab within 2 to 3 hours.
Oh shit.
And so if you don't have to shit, which I had the runs for 3 fucking days. And then of course, when it's time to do the stool kit, I can't shit because I'm nervous. So
because I'm nervous.
By the time I took my shit and did my stool sample,
Es mi primera vez aquí.
yo, by the time I did it, the lab was closed. And so if the lab is closed, you have to freeze it and then take it in the morning when the lab is open. So not only did I have
popsicle, just shit popsicles.
oh my God, no. I like sanitize the fuck out of my freezer after I put it on like the very bottom shelf where like nothing else goes. And then the next day took it to the lab and then came back and I was just like Clorox on everything. Like even though it's like sealed and it's in a bag but it was just so fucking gross. If anyone has to do those regularly, I'm so sorry for you. It's not fair that they send you home. Like I got to do the pee and everything at the hospital. Why can't you take care of that for me?
That
was
really
awful.
weird.
It was so awful. I'm traumatized.
Well, it just doesn't like I know it's gonna phase a lot of people, and when they hear that, they're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, because I was almost a nurse for the viejitos, I had to do that pretty regularly.
Oh shit!
So like, not only am I okay with my own shit, I'm okay with other people's shit.
I should have called you.
Yeah. So, but it's funny. We're really about it. Like,
oh no,
my nurse story.
Oh no, this is a horrible story.
So when I was working at the old people home,
sorry I opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
What a banger first episode.
I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast.
Oh boy,
like I've told
lucky
friends
me.
and stuff. Yeah. So there's this viejito that had a C. diff, which C. diff is like you just have some bowel movements that smell horribly. But anyways, it also does give you diarrhea. But no, this person came into the because it was an elderly daycare, but no one had told me that this person came in with that day. So it was right after eating, and we all had to like disperse, and every week we would change duties. That day I didn't have toilet duties, but
Dead guy duties.
duties. I don't know why can't we eat salad. But this particular day I did not have the bathroom duty. But this old person needed to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't ignore that. Like, imagine you're just
Yeah.
there.
You're like, that's not my duty today.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kind of duty person.
So I take him to the bathroom, and I'm doing what I gotta do. I put on my gloves. I like this person also needed help getting, because they were paralyzed from like the waist down. So you need to put them into like a lift, put them onto the toilet, help them out. They do their duties, and you like wipe them, whatever. The point is, the lift was being used, and then we had two in the facility. So the second one was actually it was broken, so we couldn't use it. Luckily, I'm a big guy. I could just plop them onto the toilet. So I'm like helping them take off their pants, and like la presión, like the pressure of them squatting onto the toilet, obviously, like they relieve themselves. So I'm like, shit. I literally have shit on me everywhere. My scrubs, my hands. I obviously can't do anything because I need to like safely put this person on the toilet. I couldn't just drop the guy because I have shit all over myself, and not other person's shit that could infect me with the C. diff. So like I'm like,
oh shit,
I'm like horrified at this moment. I hit the emergency call button to get somebody in there. I like safely put this guy on the toilet. I'm like looking at myself, and I'm like, oh. And like next thing you know, I just feel my hands are warm, because I'm just like in shock at this point. And I'm like, oh hell no. And I like lift my hand up, and it's just like I go like this, and you can just like, it's just like whoosh, whoosh. It's like going the opposite way. It's like a swing. It's like a swing of shit.
No,
like just going back and forth, and I'm like,
I've heard this story like 5 times, and I can't get over it.
Yeah.
Like every time he tells it, it's the same reaction.
and that was the day that I decided to quit nursing.
Is it really?
It was like a few months after that, but but that wasn't the why I quit nursing. But like I like took off the glove. I like waited for like whoever it is to come relieve me from my duties. I'm literally standing there like,
I can't hear you say duties without thinking of Nacho Libre. Maybe I'm not fit for these duties. That guy duties.
So yeah, so like they finally come into the bathroom, like another nurse comes in, they help me out, and then like I had to leave. Well, not only did I have to leave, I had to go to the hospital to go get blood work done, make sure I didn't get the C. diff, make sure I was like
you can
okay.
just get C. diff?
Yeah.
What is C. diff?
It's I don't remember exactly off of the out at the top of my head. But I also had to I had to get tested because it's a biohazard.
Yeah.
So like not only could I like contract like any other disease.
Yeah, whatever else you could have. Yeah.
Like it was just a biohazard thing. So I had to get like all this blood work done. I was in the hospital for like a solid like 6 hours after my shift.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
So I was in the hospital for a solid 6, because I also had to wait for like my blood work to be done and tested. So it was just a long day. Yeah.
What? Read it.
A person gets C. diff by ingesting its spores, which are typically spread through fecal contamination of surfaces, hands, especially in hospital settings. So yes, you could have very easily gotten it.
Yeah, it's se puede pasar a otras personas.
Oh my god. How does C. diff smell? Is the following question
horrible.
Gross? No, I don't need to know.
No, I don't know how we got here, you guys. I'm sorry.
I know.
But moving on.
It's a gut bacteria, basically. But wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
I have
were
no
talking
idea.
about-
Sorry, we derailed. But
It was
anyways,
that
your
damn
Oura ring.
That damn toilet that I told you guys about.
Your Oura ring should be a tool. that's the
a
bottom
tool.
line here.
Do not become obsessed.
And if you want the toilet tool, that already exists.
Is there something that you think that should exist? We didn't even ask you.
Nobody answered the question.
I would love if there was like It's hard because I feel like if this was something you could do, it would make people get even headier about shit. But I want there to be like a machine that could read all of your diagnostics. Like you go in and it's almost like an in-body scan, but it also takes like your glucose, your sugar, your like blood work, but then in real time gives you a report telling you what that means for you, like for your body.
Yeah.
Not just like, this is where your level should be and this is what number you're at, but like, oh, you Sylvia today because you're in your luteal phase. This is your temperature. This is where your glucose level is. It's okay that your glucose is high because you're supposed to have that right now with like your hormone level. And so like it dispenses an actual report. Oh, it's almost like something you'd walk into and like it pricks your finger. It like measures everything real time and then gives you a printout that tells you what that means for you. And like, this is normal. It's okay that your progesterone is high right now because this is your cycle right now. And then tells you a recommendation of like what meals and things you should be eating. Because I feel like for women especially, you know that in your, you know, menstrual phase, you're not supposed to be doing cardio. But sometimes that's when I feel the strongest. Right. And it's when I'm supposed to lift weights, but I feel the weakest and I don't want to lift weights. Tengo hueva. Like I'm on my period. And so I know generally what I should and shouldn't be doing. But again, I feel like unless you're taking my blood and actually in real time telling me on that day, because even for a woman to woman, it could vary. Like you feel different than I do sometimes on certain parts of your cycle. So if there was like a machine I could walk into and like you could pay at like a clinic to do this, just like on a day when you're starting to feel sick or you're feeling off, and it could just give you a real time like, these are all of your diagnostics and this is what this means for you as a 33-year-old woman. I think that would be really cool because there's so many loopholes I have to go through to get answers sometimes through doctors, and then I have to get that referral, and then they deny you the blood work and they're like, no, I came here for a reason. And so if there was just a way where I could walk into something and it's like an AI thing, I don't have to deal with a human, and you're literally just giving me facts on a piece of paper and how to apply that to my life, I think that would be a really cool tool.
Oh yeah, let's make it.
I remembered what I saw about like the like pricking yourself thing when I was like, and it feeds you all your data. It was not that. I think I made that up. It was the movie The Giver, where they each day they had to like before they leave to like school or work or whatever, they like prick themselves, but it's medication, I think. Yeah. Right? Because it's supposed to be a controlled city and like it's all black and white and no one feels like pain or like sorrow.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Really? It's actually a really good movie. I actually really like the movie. I mean the book. But he skips his morning medication so he can start feeling like what pain is and seeing color, and like he's in the process of becoming the giver, right? So that's where I got that idea from, because I remember when you were talking about it and you were talking about like what you should, I was like, oh, I remember now.
Sorry, I was looking it up. No, I don't think.
No, but I think that really would be cool. Like, not to be a pick me or anything, but like for like men, everything is so black and white. But I feel like for women, like there is nothing. And like the more Pau has like started getting into like her health and wellness, and the more you've started coming around and like teaching us more and stuff like that. And like I see how like my mom views life and health, and like it's so outdated, and like she is very like attached to Western medicine. And she's like, no, every time I go to the doctor, I need to have medicine, or they need to give me some sort of medication and pill. And like seeing like the different approaches that like I mean, like Sylvia Sessions, and why I'm so like obsessed with you trying to fucking like put the shit out there into the world, because I really do feel like there is such a huge demand for it, because there are not a lot of answers for women. Or like the more I see Pau trying to go to the doctor and get more like help, and like how much are the things get denied, and I'm like, why? I'm just trying to get healthy, like this is the whole point, and like hence why I left.
Seeking knowledge, like why aren't you giving it to me?
Full transparency of why I left nursing was because a lot of the stuff was getting denied to people, and like towards the end of my career I was in oncology, and like the things that I was seeing just wasn't aligning with like my views, and I was like, we're doing what to who? And like, because they don't have money, you know, like that's a whole other conversation and a whole other topic. but like just seeing how like Western medicine works and how it is so unfair to specifically women, it's just kind of like, why are we not helping our people? Like, just nothing makes sense here.
Yeah, one of our friends, and I don't want to give their identity away just because I don't know with like how much you're supposed to give information about the people you treat, but they're a nurse, and they were telling me that they work at a specific hospital where they get a lot of homeless people. And of course, some homeless people come in with addictions, and so they won't give certain opioids, especially because these people are predisposed to addiction. But they were like, there's this one person that came in with like throat sores and everything from like drugs, but they were in so much pain. Like, that's the type of person I would need to give that type of medication to. But just because this person came in predisposed with an addiction, it's like our protocol not to. And it's so against my nature because I'm supposed to be helping people. And this person clearly needs that type of help. So the fact that you can't make that exception just because that's just what hospital protocol is kind of fucked up. And I mean, they're already dealing with like, I don't know how much longer I can do this job. But I don't think I could do it. Like, I would break laws if I was in the healthcare industry, because I'm like, I feel like if I were an educator or if I were in the healthcare industry, I would get fired or arrested really fucking fast. Because when it comes to children, there's nothing I wouldn't do to protect a kid. And when it comes to like, if you're telling me I'm a health practitioner and I'm supposed to help people, and then you're telling me that we have a protocol that's counterintuitive to helping somebody, I would be like, no, fuck your protocol. I'm giving this person what they need, and I'd get fired. So I don't know how people do it. I still think we have a long way to go in just like how we educate people on what to do with those readings. Because even if that thing I want to exist happens, like, it would put people out of a job to give you like an immediate printout of here's all the things that are good and not good with you, because then you would
that's
pinpoint
like a
it
job, or you know, somebody else, like sorry, I'm like blanking on the words, but like somebody else in the health and wellness that could be helping you with those things and like putting the meal plan for you and telling you about your phase. But I think it makes a lot of sense because like you said, your luteal phase and my luteal phase can be very different, you know, so it does make sense that you have a machine that can actually physically help you with what you're specifically going through. But
I feel like even for other things, like one of the instructors at Verve asked for a sub this past week, and I subbed for her because she was in a car accident. And she was like, I've been going to the chiropractor. And I was like, dude, what are you going to the chiropractor for? Like, go get acupuncture, go try this. And so me having a bad spine, having a bad knee because of my bad hips, because of my bad spine, like, I've gone through everything. And so I have a lot of recommendations to give to people from personal experience. But even that was such a simple thing where she's like, no, I'm going and I'm getting adjusted, but then I'm just back to normal. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what happens with chiropractic. But when you go to an acupuncturist, they get sub-level, and it pinpoints something a little bit deeper. And so people just don't know that that's an option to them. It's like, oh, acupuncture, that's like woo-woo and it's scary and I don't like the needles and whatever. But they don't understand that it's actually another very viable form of treatment. But a doctor isn't going to tell you to go do that either. And it's actually very beneficial. So I feel like for some people, sure, chiropractic might work, but for someone like me, where I'm predisposed to wake up and go to bed with a bad back or a bad neck every single day, chiropractic isn't going to do it, because the next day I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to tweak my back getting in the car just to go back to the chiropractor for it to happen again the next day. Whereas acupuncture gave me lasting relief, and I didn't have knee problems for like 6 months after I started doing acupuncture. And then I would go as needed. And but once you understand that there's ways to treat things differently, I feel like just even being given those options is so important. But doctors fail us all the time and not considering that those things are viable options, or like, oh, that's really like woo woo. That's not going to work. Like, this is real medicine. And I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of ancient civilizations that didn't have half the technology that we have, and their shit works. Yeah. Like, those medicines, those herbs, those teas, they work. Yeah. And so not meshing those two worlds to give it a chance, I think, could also lead to a whole like big pharma conversation that we don't want to get into. But they want me to stay sick.
But I think like ultimately, I think this conversation just kind of just wraps itself around into like, just know your body before you get these tools to help you read the data or analyze the data. Like,
and
just
remember, it's a tool.
Don't expect answers or quick fixes from these things.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, just remember, like, this is a tool to help you. It's not a tool to fix all your issues. You know, like, go into this knowing that you need to do the work too, and like, know your body, know what you need. Don't go into this thinking that don't go into this and then like expect all these miracles and changes. You also need to work on yourself, and then like, don't get too head ass with everything, because like you are gonna get competitive. You know, sea lo que sea, at the end of the day, you're gonna read this. Like, don't use this as an excuse. Just because your readiness score is at a 60, don't think like that's an excuse to like walk around and mope around, because that's also gonna affect your day. Use it as a tool. Like, okay, I was at a 60, okay, but hoy le voy a echar ganas, and I'm gonna change a few things, and I'm gonna tweak whatever I need to tweak. But don't go around moping around saying that, oh, I'm an asshole today, I'm sorry, my readiness score was at a 50, so I didn't get enough sleep.
Go
like,
on a walk, don't go to the gym. That's what that readiness score means. Like,
what
you're not ready for the output of something extreme, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't hit your 10,000 steps that day.
So what I'm saying is, like, tweak your day. Don't tweak your day in the wrong way, is what I'm trying to say. You know, like, use it to your advantage, or use it to rest up a little bit. And if it is your readiness score is at a 60, like, don't go out that night, you know, like, stay in and like read a book. Like, recover differently.
If your readiness score is at a 60, but you feel good, then do what you were going to do normally, you know, and it's okay. And if the next day your readiness score is lower, then maybe you are getting sick and your Oura ring's going to start picking it up or whatever. But if you still feel good, like, there's been plenty of times where my readiness score is like lower and I still go to my personal training. And like, maybe it was tougher to get through the personal training, but then I feel really good after, you know, it's just really... It's very mental, and it's very like, take the numbers for what they are. And if you're still feeling good enough to get through something, then go. And if you're not, then change it, you know, and just do something else instead. But like you said, doesn't mean you shouldn't get your workout in or your 10,000 steps in.
Well, I think Pau and Sylvia really hit the head on the nail with like, listen to your body. And I think that at the end of the day, I think that's what these things are meant for, is just listen to your body. The data is going to be there, and do with that as you will. But like, at the end of the day, it's your body. You know how you should feel. You've been living in it for like 20 something years plus. So it's like, you know how you should be feeling.
Youth.
You know how you should be feeling. And at the end of the day, take the data with a grain of salt, because we're not all medical professionals and we don't know how to read it. It's just more of a use it to an advantage.
Yeah. I would also say that, like, start getting in tune with your body as early as possible. You know, like, there's changes, and like, especially for women, like, the younger you are, the more changes you're gonna see, and so it's gonna be a little confusing along the way. But I feel like the earlier you know yourself and your body, you okay?
I wait.
Sorry, Mario's choking.
What's
over
the
here.
watch say?
The good thing is I turned off my mic.
Yes. The earlier you start to get in tune with it, the easier it'll be for you when you are getting older and you are starting to see those changes, that you're like, wait, why am I seeing this change? Or why is this happening? And like, why is this not something I've never noticed before? Totally. And you'll understand it a little bit better. That is like one regret that I have, is that I didn't start at a younger age, just trying to understand, not even like super extreme, you know, but just like understanding me and my body and my phases, and why I am a certain way, or why I feel a certain way throughout the month.
I think being in the health and wellness and the fitness industry, part of my goal with becoming a fitness instructor was that I wanted movement and wellness to be just something that was ingrained in my life and in my everyday. However, one of the bigger things is that I knew that eventually I'd want kids, and I don't want to be responsible for another life, or creating even another life, without understanding my own and my own health. And then we talked about that today, where that extends to your partner too. Their health determines so much of how you're going to experience that pregnancy. And I think it's not even a duty that you have to yourself, but it's a duty you almost have to the people around you, the people that love you, to really understand your body. And if these tools help you do that, great. But if they're going to have an adverse effect, then figure out other ways to learn what your body's feeling and experiencing and why. But be curious. I think this should be a condition of curiosity, not of like this isn't law. Whatever this says shouldn't govern your life. It shouldn't give you sleep paralysis because you're so obsessed with how your sleep score is. It shouldn't give you excuses for why you should or shouldn't do things. It should literally be a tool of, I'm just curious on how much deeper I can get to know myself. And that's it. And if you're not going to use it that way, then I would say don't even go there. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said that, because like now that Pau and I were like officially married, because, you know, the civil one didn't count. The civil one didn't count. This one counted. But like now that we're like looking at like expanding the family and moving forward with that new step into our
like
lives.
another dog.
Our new dog. Which, you know, I could go into a whole other rant, because me and Pau had talked about this, because like I'm a little triggered right now with like the kid question.
Yeah.
And you know, that can be a whole other podcast in itself. But like I know people say it with like good intentions, because the majority of the time it's like
For
family
sure.
members and friends. But like there's so many issues that like arrive from that, you know, like who says I'm fertile? You know, who's to say Pau's fertile and stuff like that?
Who says I'm done traveling and being with my husband?
Yeah. And it says like I generally like dislike that question. But anyways, the point is that like, but now that I am planning for that, and like we were having this conversation where it's like I love the sauna, but it's like I know like when we start trying, I'm gonna have to let go of the sauna. I need to stop drinking. I need to take care of myself, because a lot of her pregnancy is the man, and like people fail to like
acknowledge that very important part.
A lot of the pregnancy, or a lot of the symptoms that she may feel, like the nausea, the morning sickness, stems from the man. Like I have the seed, I have what
you create the placenta.
So it's like if I have a shitty diet and my sleep score is horrible, and like all these things that like I could use the Whoop or the Oura ring as a tool to give her a better pregnancy experience.
1,000%.
And that also affects the child too, where it's like I ultimately can create a healthier being too. So it's like men use that again as a tool if you are planning on expanding the family or things like that, because it also does affect the woman and her experience. Yeah,
I think those are the reasons you should get things like this. Like for me, going back to why I got this, I could have gotten this a year and a half ago when I got off birth control. But it probably would have made that mental process 10 times worse, because I was already having a really hard time with my body and my hormones changing. And so having this wouldn't have changed anything. Right. It would have just confirmed what I knew was happening, and I couldn't do anything about, because time was the only thing that was going to heal my body. So now that I've given it time, I'm like, okay, now I know that there are things I can control through my diet, through my sleep, through my whatever. And so now it's time to get serious about those things, but it wouldn't have mattered if I had done that at the beginning, because my body needed to purge all those things. So to then wear something like this a year and a half ago, only for it to tell me, hey, you're all out of whack and it's not getting any better. I'm like, bitch, I already know that. I wake up every day and I feel like shit. Yeah. And so I think that if you want it for a tool for getting pregnant, and that's like even fertility research has gotten so much better, where my best friend had trouble getting pregnant, Brianna, for a while. And then she got a test where it literally told her down to the hour of when they should have sex, got pregnant like this. Wow. And
that's crazy.
That's what you use technology for, not for like just everyday, like wishy-washy, but like I have a purpose for this, and it's not going to control my life. It's just going to feed my healthy curiosity of how to address this one need that I have.
And it's hard nowadays with how technology is advancing so quick, and even like newer generations, like the addiction to technology is different in newer generations than it is for us, you know? So it's definitely hard, and it's not like easy to just disregard certain things or like detach yourself from it, you know? But I definitely, like you said, don't get it if you know that you already have that like mentality, because it's just going to make it so much harder. But they are great tools for sure. I love my Oura.
Big fan so far.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts?
No, that's it. Just if you are paying better attention to your health, if you're curious about how to make your life better, I'm proud of you. I think that it takes a lot of guts to face yourself. And I myself, I don't have all the answers, and I still know that I shouldn't eat that pan dulce, but I still eat it. And so the better we can just educate ourselves and have that healthy curiosity of what are ways that I can improve my life. Not so that you're just like living life just to eat kale at the end of it, but like to live a long, robust and beautiful life. that can look so different for every single person. And so if you're on that journey of figuring out how to do that for yourself, I think you should be proud of yourself and give yourself a break for any areas where you could still be hard on yourself, but what's the point? Because at least you're trying. So
use it as a tool so you can eat that pan dulce
exactly.
at the end of the week. Yeah. Yeah. Which I guess going back to the whole nutritionist thing, and we'll wrap it up, is just like kind of like don't deprive yourself of that pan dulce too. Because, you know, I think people do get into that like psych mode where you're like, oh, I can't have this because I need to lose weight. But it's like,
or my Oura ring said I only burned X amount of calories, so I have to eat this and this and
eat that quarter crumble cookie.
Yeah,
you're gonna be okay.
Eat the quarter crumble cookie for real. Just a quarter. Yeah. The rest of it will give you diabetes.
Proud of you.
I'm learning. That kid's gonna be healthy as shit. That new dog's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, no, guys, honestly, like we said, use it as a tool. Don't get too head ass. Research. If you don't, reach out to Sylvia. This is what she does for a living, guys. And we hope you enjoy these new segments. I know it's a little different from like what we've been doing. We've been trying to like reel these segments back in. We hope you enjoy it. If you do have any questions, like feel free to reach out. I don't have all the answers.
Topics, we'd love to know what you want to talk about. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, and especially if it comes down to like the woman's health, that is what Sylvia Sessions is about. I know it's Vive con Huevos, but I mean Vive con Ovarios. So
hey,
that is a trademark though. So I'm sorry, I said that online. But anyways, yeah, use it as a tool. Use it to benefit your life. And like Sylvia, I was gonna say proud because I'm looking at her, but like Sylvia said, we are proud of you guys for wanting to take those steps to better your life too, because it is hard. Yeah. And it is hard to get out of those like habits and like psych yourself out of like being so strict on yourself, because we're just so programmed to be so like strict on like diets and like cutting things out and like going cold turkey with things when you
especially
can just
coming from a Latino household.
Yeah,
I think
the restrictive stuff.
Yeah, or like I think any immigrant household realistically, because like
culturally that's the restrictive mentality is a cultural thing.
And it's like cutting the carbs out. Like the first thing to go is the rice and like the tortillas. But realistically, you can eat it just in moderation. You know, everything's bad
need
for
the
you.
Carb.
Yeah,
gives you energy.
I learned that. But like everything's bad for you in excess. You know, you can even eat the healthy stuff and it can be bad for you. So at the end of the day, just gotta live your life. Vive con huevos or whatever. But guys, we good?
Yeah.
But guys,
I think that's a great place to end it.
Send us all your questions. We'll send Sylvia your questions. Don't send me the questions because I don't have the answers.
We got you. We're here for you.
But stay tuned for more Sylvia Sessions, guys. And como siempre, live your best life. Live your best life. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. It has.
Live your best life. Fight your fears. At the end of the day, the only thing that you regret are the things that you did not do. So vive con huevos, guys. We love you. We out of here.
Bye.
Peace.
Hey.
Sylvia Sessions con Sylvia.